When I was writing the text I'm going to read out next, and now that I'm recording this video, I'm listening to the Spanish ensemble Música Ficta perform the Requiem by Tomás Luis de Victoria. And I chose this music for practical reasons. Victoria was born in the province of Avila. He was a Catholic priest and arguably the greatest composer of all times. He spent part of his life in Rome and died in Madrid in 1611. He became a choir boy at Avila Cathedral, where he was trained as a musician before leaving for Rome, where he masterfully wrote the greatest music. So what are those practical reasons? Let me first tell you that it is not Tomás Luis de Victoria, the one I want to talk about, but another man born over 250 years after Victoria's death, George Santayana. So, what is still practical about your reasons? Well, Santayana was born in Madrid and spent his early childhood in Avila before moving to the United States, where he became a philosopher, an essayist, a poet, and a novelist. So what? Santayana loved cathedrals and died in Rome. Can you connect the dots? Madrid, Avila, Rome. I think I should first explain how I came across George Santayana, quite a chance encounter by the way, whom I had never heard of in my life. Of course, since he died in 1952, I do not mean I met him personally unless I were dead, knock on wood, and had that strange power of coming back to life from the afterworld. No, my encounter with him was a bit more intellectual than physical. It was reading Invitation to Philosophizing following the spirit and writings of Antonio Machado by Juan David García Vaca, another Spanish philosopher, that I read the name George Santayana. By the way, this is the book, Invitación a Filosofar según Espíritu y Letra de Antonio Machado by García Vaca. I think there might be some English translations of it. This is where I found the name George Santayana. And it caught my attention because I had never heard of him, and my attention turned into curiosity when I found out about his life and happened to know that Santayana had written all of his books in English. Actually, he changed the Spanish name Jorge by the equivalent in English George, and he's considered one of the greatest American writers of the 20th century. However, he always remained Spanish, and that was striking to me. Was it possible that Spanish born in 1863 would turn into an American man of letters? After a little research I did, I managed to buy one of his books, Persons and Places, at Menos 10, a little second-hand bookshop in Madrid downtown. This is the book, Persons and Places, and I must say I'm quite proud of the acquisition because this book was published in 1944 by Charles Scribner's Sons, and at the beginning of it there is a warning that says this book is manufactured under wartime conditions in conformity with all government regulations controlling the use of paper and other materials. That is, Second World War. So, I bought this book because I wanted to try and see whether he really was such a good writer as they said. Santayana had been a nominee to the Pulitzer Prize for his novel The Last Puritan back in 1936. But he was never awarded the prize, apparently because he was not an American citizen and had always kept his Spanish passport. And what a great writer he is indeed. I loved Persons and Places, an autobiography written at his late 70s where he beautifully describes an amazing life of academical achievements, traveling and philosophy. The book is divided up into 16 chapters where he speaks about his origins in Spain, his teenage years in Boston, his achievements at Harvard University as an adult, and his later return to Europe when he quitted his professorship in Harvard at age 48. George Santayana may be the writer who best wrote about Spain in English. And for sure, reading Persons and Places is a great exercise for those of us who want to master the English language and the knowledge about life in the late 19th and early 20th centuries in the United States, Spain and Europe. In all that regards himself, his thoughts or his happiness, Santayana crossed the desert more than once in his life. So that when he looks back over those years, he sees objects, he sees public events, he sees persons and places, but he doesn't see himself. His inner life, as he recalls it, seems to be concentrated in a few oases, in a few halting places, green inns or sanctuaries, where the busy traveler stopped to rest, to think, and to be himself. Now, you may understand the practical reasons why I chose the music of Victoria when I was writing these lines. If you don't worry. Maybe someday you too will connect the dots.
Don't quit volunteer.